right, guys. So we're gonna get started. I want to talk about something before we bring our guest in. I made a video and asked people that was in the same issue to check us out today. The issue happens to be with our insurance, Aetna, um, and uh, benefits that our children need that we're not getting, and that would be autism. Um, Let me get this up here real quick. Where's the banner? ABA. So autism ABA. As you all know, my child is autistic since find out when he was like 18 months old. And you know how when you call up, you have an issue, the medical issue, and let me take this off. Oh man, blood.
Okay.
All right. We have this when you call to have something covered, and they tell us it's not covered, and yeah, okay, it's not covered. You know, you let it go. That's it. My son is 10 years old right now, and we had this issue. What brought this up is like just a few days ago we had something that happened here. I'm not gonna tell the whole story, but it was a scary situation for us as a family with our son, and thank God everything was fine, everything went well. But it got me to thinking, my child needs ABA services, and when you call Aetna, they tell us that it's not covered. So I took it upon myself to ask, because again, like I said, we call up and they say, oh, it's not covered, and we just let it go. But I wanted to see why it's not covered, or maybe they could do something from member to member, depending on their situation, that they could cover certain services. There's certain services that my son was getting, and if you have a child on the spectrum, a child with special needs, you would understand this. They have different early intervention that's before 3 years old. They have, like, my son was getting physical therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy, and even ABA at that point. After 3 years old, certain services are cut off. Certain services are continue at school, like the physical therapy, which he doesn't need anymore, and then speech therapy and occupational therapy that he's getting on a weekly basis. Now, ABA is very important, and I was wondering if there's something that could be done. I called our Brooklyn Division Chairman, Armando Serrano. I called him about it to find out if there's anything that could be done. Is there something that could be amended as far as this rule that certain things are not covered? And he gave me a number to another person who he said this is someone that you could really talk to. I'm not gonna put his name out yet. If we get more people, more transit workers that are interested, that have a children on the spectrum, and like me, will love their child to get ABA services, so maybe some other service that it's not covered, then we would go forward with this other person. But I'm stretching it out. I'm gonna keep going as far as I can to see if it could get amended. That's why I want you guys, if you are in the same situation, to please hit me up or in the comment. I know some guys want to keep certain things serious, because not serious but private. So you could hit me up, or you could email us at twotransitmisfits@gmail.com, and you know, let me know what's up. So I wound up calling Aetna. Aetna put me in touch with the nurse from Aetna to talk about the situation. We spoke to the nurse, between my wife and myself, and it took a couple of days, because she was going to see if there's anything that could be done, because working for transit, she says, you know, it's something that it's important. So, you know, she came back. The bad news is yeah, Aetna doesn't cover it, but we're glad that you are doing this for your child. You should keep trying. Something could be done. So I said, cool. So then, when I was speaking to this gentleman that Mr. Serrano put me through, he told me this thing, which is like, Aetna has airlift, like the choppers, helicopter, emergency airlift in our plan. Now, what he was saying is like, When has any transit operator or a transit worker here in New York ever needed airlift, emergency airlift? So he says he remembers that maybe there was one time. So the whole thing is to take things that maybe we don't really need, things that maybe have never been really used in Aetna, and put things that are needed. Things like ABA for children on the spectrum, which really needed. The ABA, what they tell you what it actually does, you learn to deal with things sensibly and realistically. That's something that children on the spectrum don't really get to do. And the therapy is based on the science of learning and behavior. Okay, it increases your language and communication skills, which my son needs. It improves attention, that you focus. Like a child could be focused on one thing, and 2 seconds later he's done with it. So it teaches them that, the focus. Social skills. You need that. With this thing that just happened to us, you need that social skill, because some of the children on the spectrum will just go with anybody. You can't keep your eyes off them for a minute. If you have a child like me, it increases the memory and academics. It also decreases if they have any problematic behaviors. So this is a big issue. And the other thing he did was he told me this, that now we're going to have Ronald Springer on and Kemp, and maybe they want to touch on this real quick. But he told me that transit had agreed to the ABA, but that labor relations said no. Why? Because they said that it's too much money. So again, it comes down to things that are in our plan that we don't use, like emergency airlift with a helicopter, to something like this that there's a lot of children in need of. So I'm going to continue with this thing, and hopefully we could get some kind of amendment. And for those of you that might think, oh, no, I'm just talking about this, whatever. I spoke about this like 2 years ago in one of our shows. It was number 29, show 29. What was it? Well, the date on the video. I'm going to throw the video on. So I don't know if Blunt could throw the video on.
I got it.
And watch this. I asked about it to Rob, and this is what Rob had to say about it.
I'm never getting bills for Aetna. Now I'm getting bills for Aetna.
Really?
Doctors are opting out of the coverage. My family lives in Puerto Rico, right? My daughter, my significant other people live in Puerto Rico. All these years I had Empire Blue Cross, and I never had a problem. They forced this Aetna on us. They're going to say, yeah, the transit decides, fine. But
Let me ask you something real quick about that.
Sure.
Because I have my child's autistic. A lot of people that know me know that. And he gets a lot of services. We try to get him ABA. That's a service that they give autism. Our Aetna does not cover it. Even though when we went to the doctor was saying, how they're going to cover it? It's coming medically. He needs it medically. We're writing notes that he needs it.
Right.
And yet, when we try to get it, they told us, no, it doesn't cover it.
Well, like I said, they're going to tell you that that was something I believe Roger negotiated, that the authority does pick the healthcare provider. But you know what? Everything is negotiable. We are the ones out there generating the money.
So you hear that. Everything is negotiable. So there's something that could be done for our children to get those really needed services. My own child's developmental pediatrician recommended ABA and he even sent a prescription, and Aetna still said no. So let's get together, guys. I mean, right now I just heard that the women in transit now are able to get light duty for pregnant women, which is something that we're fighting and they got. Let's see if we could get this amended so that the children that need ABA service, which is pretty expensive, sessions go like maybe $600 a session. That's rough. So they could work something out, like how many sessions could you get a week or so forth. But I'm going to continue. We have a meeting coming up, and I'm trying to hurry up because we got to get to Ronald Springer. We got a meeting coming up right here. When is it? The 17th? The 17th of this month. The local 100, right? Where's it? 195
Montague.
Montague. Okay, guys, you know the time, 11, 12, and 6 p.m. at night. Get to that meeting. If you have a child in the spectrum, meet me there. I'm going to be for the 6 o'clock one, and let's talk to our union leaders and push it. I spoke to Vice Chair on the depot, Mr. Aaron Vasquez. I told him about it. So hearing it here first, I told him about it. He said it is a good idea, and he's going to think about it. So he's going to push it forward to see if something could be done. So the wheels are already in motion, guys. The wheels are already in motion. Let's see if we can get something done.